Hello everyone, it's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. And in this video, I'm going to be playing AI Dungeon 2. AI Dungeon 2. This is episode 3 of Jet, Starlight, and Zana. If you guys have not checked out episodes 1 or 2, I highly recommend that you do, because this is the third episode in the series. So let's see. The last thing that we did, we traveled back with Zana to her cave, and then we both fell asleep on top of our blankets. But then I slept restlessly, having dreams of goblins eating babies, and then dreams of babies throwing up, and then dreams of Captain Dario throwing up. So now I'm just going to wake up from that nightmare, and let's see what happens. You wake up in the cave. Zana is still asleep next to you. You don't want to wake her, so you decide to go look for food in the dirt. Okay. Yeah, we sure haven't eaten like this whole adventure. What the fuck is the dirt? Okay. Excuse me. What the fuck do fairies even eat? Think about what fairies eat. Because that's what I would need to get for Zana and I, even though I'm in my human form. You think that since you're a fairy, you eat flowers. It's one of your favorite foods. You take one of the magical chalks Zana has and draw a flower about 4 feet in front of you. Flowers are nice. Okay. Pick some flowers and bring them back to the cave. I don't know what the magical chalk thing is about. I'm curious if, like, that chalk can do something like summon flowers. You pick a few flowers, then head back to the cave. Zana, Zana, I got you some flowers, you yell. Zana groggily wakes up. What? I just woke up, she groans. I got you these flowers. So I yell at her. I like how it's like you don't want to disturb her, so you go get food. And then as soon as you get food, you just start fucking yelling about how much food you brought. Okay. So I'm gonna offer Zana. I mean, I can just talk. I'm gonna speak for myself. Fairies eat flowers. We're fairies. I brought these flowers for us to eat for breakfast. Are you hungry? It's interesting that we eat flowers. It seems easy enough to get. You say in an upbeat voice, yeah, they do have me like hype as fuck in this. You didn't think you were hungry, but the second you mention eating the flowers, your stomach begins to rumble. Zana giggles as you blush. I thought so, she says. Okay. So I'm going to share the flowers with Zana. That way we can both finish eating, and then we can head over to the guild so we can report that Captain Dario is evil. You happily hand a flower to Zana, and she smiles before shoving it in her mouth. She begins to chew slowly, but when the flavor hits her tongue, she immediately starts to speed eat. She practically inhales the flower and looks longingly at the other one in your hand. Okay, fuck it. Yeah, hand her the second flower. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, if she's like really hungry and she's speed eating, that's fine. Let's see. So now we gotta update the story summary. You are a fairy named Jet Sparkle, who is stuck in a human form. You are friends with an Aussie named Zana. Aussies are dark fairies from the desert. You have a pistol, a trident, the power to blink in and out of existence, and hydrokinesis. Zana has the power to talk to and manipulate plants. Zana can also teleport, has a bow, and can shoot fireballs out of her ring. You and Zana are resting back at her cave. You and Zana plan to report to the guild masters that Captain Dario was evil. So instead of our resting back at her cave, you can say are eating. Do I have room to say breakfast? Yeah, are eating breakfast back at our cave. That's currently what we're doing. Cool. You happily hand Zana the second flower, and she quickly begins eating it. She looks at you as she chews her food, and you aren't quite sure what she's thinking. You feel your ears burning as you blush harder than you ever have before. Okay, I'm going to eat flowers. Because I need to actually, build my energy up so I'll be ready for our next adventure. I've been through a lot to have not, eaten anything. You begin eating the flowers as well, as the two of you eat them as quickly as you can. After you have eaten all the petals off the flowers, you just start chewing on the stem. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So I think the next thing I would probably do is say, are you ready for us to head to the guild hall? We need to report to the guild masters that Captain Dario was evil. Captain Dario, that was such a crazy setup. We met him, he joined us, and then he immediately went to the dark side. After finishing the flowers, you jump out and start heading towards the guild hall. Zana follows behind you, not saying a word. When you get to the guild hall, you tell Zana to stay there while you go find a guild master. I'm going to say, on second thought, you should come with me, Zana. We don't know if the other guild masters are good. They could be just as evil as Captain Dario. We have no idea whether or not we'd be walking into a trap to go meet up with all the guild masters, especially if one of us goes alone. She nods in agreement. Okay, she says. The pair of you head inside the guild hall, and you immediately head towards the room where you first awoke for Captain Dario's meeting. Okay. Where do we find the guild masters? Do they have a special meeting room in the guild hall? Yeah. The quicker we can find them, the better. I'm sure they already know that Captain Dario is dead. Zana nods in response to your question. Yes, but I don't know where it is. I've never had the chance to go there, she says. Let's see. Ask a guild member for directions to the meeting room of the guild masters. We need to figure out where the meeting room is so that we can report that Captain Dario is evil. You ask a nearby guild member for directions to the meeting room of the guild masters. I sure do. What happens next? Let's see. So we now have to update the story summary again. So I'm gonna just change the line that says we're eating breakfast back at Zana's cave. So now I'm gonna say you and Zana are at the guild hall looking for the guild masters. Fuck. Okay, I guess I don't have to say that. I can say that Zana and I are at the guild hall. In that last sentence that says, you and Zana plan to report to the guild masters that Captain Dario is evil, is fine. Well, if anything, instead of saying we're at the guild hall, we can say that we're in the guild hall. That's all accurate. Let's see. You ask a nearby guild member for directions to the meeting room of the guild masters. He immediately gets angry and grabs you. Never question a guild member, especially me. I'm the owner of this guild hall, he says. You try to apologize and explain that you were just asking for directions, but he doesn't listen. Are you a guild master? Yeah, like, if he owns the guild hall, he's likely a guild master. I don't know why he's so aggro. The owner of the guild hall laughs. No, my boy, he says. The owner pauses for a moment. Actually, now that I think about it, you're right. I'm not a guild master. You look at him confused. Where do I find the guild masters? Maybe this is the guy that we should report to, actually. The owner of the guild hall laughs. You're standing in it, my boy, he says as he grabs his face and pulls it off to reveal another face underneath. What? Look confused. Look confused. Confusingly? Look confusingly at the owner of the guild hall. Yeah, like, I have no idea what's going on. Is he, like, not even actually the owner of the guild hall? The owner of the guild hall takes off his face to reveal the third face underneath. This is the guild master, he says, as the third face smiles at you. The first face speaks again. I'm not really the guild master either. The second face speaks now. So this guy is multiple people. It's not even like multiple personality. Like, each face is like its own identity. Okay. I guess I'm going to ask, are you the only other guild master besides the now deceased Captain Dario? Yeah, because I want to try and tell all the guild masters that Captain Dario was dead. Well, is evil and that he's dead. No, there's actually another guild master. The fourth face, The fourth face appears and laughs at you. I'm the only guild master, he says. The first face speaks again. I'm not the guild master either. The second face speaks now. Holy fuck. I really don't want to talk to all these faces at the same time. I want to report to the guild masters that Captain Dario was evil. I also would like to start a monster hunting guild with my friend Zana. Yeah, I mean, that's the, like, clearest way I can, like, share my intentions. You're speaking with the guild masters, my boy, the first face says. We all are. The fifth face appears. Any decision you make will affect the future of all Aussie, including Zana. Whoa, the fifth face is saying some really specific stuff. Let's see. I guess technically I've reported that he's evil. Nothing really came of it. It wasn't like a revelation to them that he was evil. Do Zana and I have the permission of the guild masters to start a monster hunting guild? Because that's pretty much all I need from them. If they don't care about the fact that Captain Dario's evil. Let's see. So, you and Zana are in the guild hall talking to the guild masters. You and Zana are trying to start a monster hunting guild. There we go. Sure, why not? The sixth face says. I'm in, the fifth face says. I will also allow it, the fourth face says. Go ahead, the third face says. Sure thing, the second face says. Then it's settled. Zana and I are starting a monster hunters guild. Or a monster hunting guild. Um, we killed Guildmaster Captain Dario because he was evil. I just wanted to let you know. Thank you. Yeah. I'm curious how they're gonna react. Good job, my boy, the first face says. Thanks for letting us know, the second face says. I'd say I'm looking forward to working with you two, but I don't really like assuming things, the third face says. Okay, I'm getting used to the fact that this guy has multiple faces. Will our monster hunting guild get its own room in the guild hall? Because that would be cool. I'd like to set up like stuff there. We'll get a bigger guild hall, the first face says. Zana and you look at each other confused. What does he mean, you ask? I don't know, Zana replies. So you're saying that... I mean, it doesn't really matter. What will the guild hall provide the Monster Hunter Guild? Will we get access to meeting space, members, and weapons? Yeah, like I want to know what we get for being a part of the guild hall, essentially. We raided the armory last time we were here, so it's not like we can't get weapons anyways. We get access to everything, the first face says. Oh great, the second face says sarcastically. We need more room, the third face says. Weapons, definitely more weapons, the fourth face says. Meeting space? Question mark? Okay. I'm glad that we get access to everything. I mean, fuck it. We might as well ask. Can Zana and I become guild masters? I mean, we're gonna start a monster hunting guild at the guild hall, and if we're like the leaders of the guild, why can't we be guild masters? Sure, the first face says. Sure, the second face says. I'm in charge of the city guard and I won't allow it, the third face says. We're doomed, the fourth face says. Can we have another room? Don't know who says that last part. Okay. I mean, I'm just gonna say majority rules. It sounds like Zana and I are now guild masters. What do we get as guild masters? Yeah, I mean, like if one of the faces is like no, and there are like 6 faces, I don't care. Nothing, the first face says. That's what I thought, the third face says. A lot, the second face says. We need a bigger guild hall. Again, the fourth face says. The door to the room opens up by itself. Oh. What? Look at the door. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the door's opening. I imagine something's going to happen at the door. Let's see. You and Zana, have started a monster hunting guild and become guild masters. I mean, to be honest, I like to use the last sentence as like a goal, like something that you're trying to achieve. But right now, I don't really have a clear goal. Like, I'm just kind of fucking around and trying to see, like, what I can get out of the guild masters. You and Zana want to find out what the guild masters can offer you both. What the guild masters can offer you, like essentially just what we can get out of them. The door has a wooden frame and is made of solid wood. There's a big old-looking keyhole in the center, a brass knob in the lower right corner, and a couple of knobs to hold it open in the upper left corner, all made of brass. That's a confusing sounding door, but whatever. Okay. So I guess I might be wasting some time with the guild masters. They seem like kooky characters, but I don't really think we're going to get much out of this place that we couldn't just get without asking for permission. We can kind of do whatever the fuck we want. So, with that being said, I'm just going to ask Zana, okay, now that we are a monster hunting guild, we should find a monster with a bounty. If we slay a monster with a bounty, we'll be rewarded for our work. I should have said Zana at the beginning. I like the way you think, the first face says. How do we find a monster with a bounty? The second face asks. Zana, do you see any wanted posters around the guild hall? If any of them have monster bounties, we could go hunt those monsters to claim the bounty, to claim the bounties. Interesting idea, the third face says. I see where she's coming from, the second face says. Alright then, the first face says. Let's see if we can find a wanted poster with a monster bounty on it. The door swings open. There's just shit happening with the door. So I was trying to talk to Zana, but the guild masters are still there. It looks like the guild masters are trying to help us, so that's not a bad thing. And it also seems like some of the guild master faces want to be involved. So that's another thing. Let's see. So I'm going to change it to do, and we're going to ask Zana if she sees any monster bounties, sees any posters around the guild hall with monster bounties. I think I see one over there, Zana says, pointing at a poster to your right. The door swings open. There's a wanted poster tacked up on the wall for a goblin mercenary who has been terrorizing small villages in the nearby region. Read the bounty amount for the goblin mercenary. I want to know how much the goblin's worth. There's a wanted poster tacked up to the wall for a goblin mercenary who's been terrorizing small villages in the nearby region. The goblin mercenary is wanted dead or alive, and the bounty for bringing him is 1 gold coin. This should be easy money, Zana says. Okay, solid. Awesome. Let's take this poster with us and go hunting for the goblin mercenary. Okay, cool. We actually have like a mission now, so that's nice. I do feel like I wasted a little bit of time talking to the guild masters. You got it, Zana says. Zana rips the goblin mercenary poster off the wall and hands it to you. Let's go show this to Ludmilla, Zana says. Oh no you don't, the first face says. Who is Ludmilla? Has this name come up before? Let's see. So you and Zana are in the guild hall, getting ready to go hunt a goblin mercenary to claim the bounty that's on its head. Ludmilla is the vampire countess of the region, the third face says. She's also the one who holds all the power here in Eastern Europe, the fourth face says. Note to self, Kingdom of Larion in Eastern Europe. That are the fourth face is having an aneurysm. There's no way she'll let you become a monster hunting guild. I mean, I didn't think we needed Ludmilla's permission to do that. We got the guild master's permission to do that, who's also the owner of the guild hall. But whatever. I'm going to ask Zana. Zana, why do you think... Oh, wait. Not why do you think. Zana, do you think that Ludmilla will help us claim the bounty on the goblin mercenary? I think I was supposed to have a comma after Zana, but whatever. I don't see why not, the fourth face says. Oh yes, I think she'll like the sound of that, the first face says. She'll probably love the idea of turning us into an official monster hunting guild, the third face says. We need Ludmilla's permission? Also, I want to dismiss the guild masters. I mean, unless they're gonna come help us, they should, like, shut up. So I'm just gonna ask the guild masters. So I'm gonna ask the guild masters if they would like to join you and Zana on your quest. They either will or they won't. No way, the second face says. You're on your own, the fourth face says. That's a bad idea, the third face says. I think we should do it ourselves, Zana says. Suit yourself, the first face says. Okay. I agree with you, Zana. You and I should do this mission alone. Let's see. Let's go see Ludmilla and ask her about the bounty. Maybe Ludmilla will be cool. Plus, we already did a werewolf episode, so we might as well do a vampire episode. Are you sure you're ready for this, the third face says? Do you even have any idea how to kill a goblin mercenary? The fourth face asks. Zana and I have slain many a goblin in our time. We know what we are doing. Then prove it, the first face says. Zana takes you by the hand and leads you out of the guild hall and into the night. The two of you arrive at Count Grey's castle. Count Grey's castle? Why are we back here? I thought we were looking for Ludmilla. Does she live here too? It is weird to be back at Count Grey's castle. It reminds me of episode 1. Of course not, Zana says. Zana begins kissing you passionately in the moonlight. You try to kiss her back, but you feel a sharp pain in your neck. Ow, my neck. Did I just get bit? Yeah. This is... Fuck happened to my neck? Did I get bit by a vampire? Is this a trap, my nigga? What's going on? Let's see. You and Zana are making out in front of Count Grey's castle, you were looking for Ludmilla, the vampire countess. You were delicious, Zana says. Zana then turns into a cloud of bats and flies away. You attempt to follow her, but find your legs will not work. Instead, you collapse onto the ground and bleed out of your 1,000 tiny paper cuts. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. So this is like an easy solution. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use hydrokinesis to create a healing salve to heal my wounds. Zana's always full of fucking surprises. You slather the salve all over your burned body and the pain goes away. You smile and get up. You are a fairy named Jet Sparkle who's stuck in a human form. You are friends with an Aussie named Zana. Oh, great. I don't know what the fuck's happening to the AI, but it does seem like it's starting to fuck up suddenly. Let's see. I fly after Zana and ask her what's going on. Like, has she just been a vampire the whole time? You run after Zana and catch her just as she's about to turn into a cloud of bats. Ah, great. Now it's like jumping us backwards in time. What's going on? Why'd you bite me, you ask? Didn't mean to, Zana says, looking guilty. It was an accident. What the fuck? I'm about to ask her. Have you been a vampire this entire time? Are Aussie vampire fairies? Which actually kind of makes sense. Like, I'm not even mad at the concept. Because that would explain why I don't know anything. Of course not, Zana says. Then what are you, you ask? I'm sorry, Zana says before flying away. You fly after her, but you're too weak to keep up. You give up and return home. Okay. You decide that you refuse to give up. You use your hydrokinesis to create wings made of water to help you keep up with Zana. Zana and I are friends. We've been through a ton of bullshit. I don't know why the fuck she's a cloud of bats, or why she bit me, or why she kissed me, which is like a whole other question. You take a deep breath and dive into the sky. You flap your watery wings as hard as you can. You continue flying through the sky as Zana waits for you at the top of a nearby tower. I'm sorry, Zana says. Let's see. Zana, you're my best friend. If you're a vampire, you can tell me. I'm here for you, no matter what. Because I'll be honest, Zana, I honestly didn't know what the fucking Aussie was before. But you being a vampire makes sense. I know, Zana says and begins crying. Zana hugs you, you hug her back. I'm a succubus, Zana says. It's the reason why we've always gotten along so well. I have a bond to you. What? So, are Aussie succubi? I don't know if I'm spelling succubi right. Fuck. So are Aussie succubuses? Yeah, that didn't sound right. I'm pretty sure succubi is the right thing, but it doesn't accept it. So are Aussie and succubus... I'm telling you, succubi. It's not gonna let me say it. He's not gonna let me say it. So are Ozzy and succubi the same thing? So are Ozzy and a succubus the same thing? Or are you like an Ozzy succubus hybrid? Yeah, like I'm trying to determine if she's actually a fairy. Because she chowed down on those flowers, my dude. I'm 100% succubus, Zana says. Well, shit. Okay. You and Zana are talking on top of a tower. Your mission is to claim the bounty of a goblin mercenary. And I need to go back up and say you're friends with not an Ozzy, but rather you're friends with a succubus named Zana. She can also teleport, turn into bats. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit going on. So she's 100% succubus. Okay. I accept you for who you are. Fuck. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to say. Because she did kiss me earlier. I'm not sure if that's entirely relevant or if that's just going to be like a normal thing. Let's see. I accept you for who you are. What's on your mind? I get, like, what the fuck are you thinking currently? I need your help, Zana says. Of course you say. You have to kill Count Grey, Zana says. Why am I killing Count Grey again, you ask? He's evil, Zana says. Count Grey is already dead. I killed him the last time we went to Count Grey's castle. Our current mission is to claim the bounty of a goblin mercenary. I like that even the story mentioned that Count Grey's already dead. It's like, why am I killing Count Grey again? I just don't want you to die, Zana says. I've never died before. And I have hydrokinetic healing powers. Oh, I know that you lost Jacob to goblins. I know that you get nervous when we fight goblins. But we're going to be okay. I'm here for you. Yeah, it actually makes sense for her to be kind of scared. Zana smiles at you. We're going to be okay, Zana says, smiling. You fly away from the tower and head towards Count Grey's castle. Since Count Grey is already dead, let's go find Ludmilla. You mentioned her earlier, so I imagine that she'll help us against the goblin mercenary. I I mean, she's literally the only lead we have, other than knowing that a goblin mercenary exists. You're probably right, Zana says. You and Zana fly to the vampire castle, which is on a nearby mountain. It's night by the time you reach it, so you're forced to wait until nightfall to enter. Okay? I'm gonna ask, are you friends with Ludmilla? Like, I'm assuming that you're friends with Ludmilla, or else you wouldn't have asked to go see Ludmilla. We're more than friends, Zana says. Together we're the last pure vampires on Antilor. All of the others have been tainted by greed or other dark emotions. That sounds really lonely, you say. It is. Wait, so are succubus and vampires the same thing? This was confusing to the whole, like, this was, like, earlier when I was like, she's an Aussie, but apparently she's a succubus, but actually she's a vampire. It's all kinds of bullshit. You and Zana are talking on top of a tower. Now it's you and Zana are outside Ludmilla's castle. No, Zana says. Vampires are undead humans who drink blood to survive. Succubi are demons who seduce men and draw forth life energy. I'm a succubus. Okay. So, you and vampires have a lot in common, which is why you and Ludmilla are so close? Like, she's saying they're not quite the same. Yeah, but they're close enough to consider each other like kin. Okay. Let's head inside Ludmilla's castle and ask her to help us claim the bounty on the goblin mercenary. Easy game. Okay, Zana says. You and Zana enter the dark castle. The interior is much brighter than the outside because candles adorn the walls. Hello? Zana asks. Ludmilla, you shout. No answer. Is Ludmilla home? Let's see. Do you think Ludmilla might not be home? Like, it's possible that she just may not be here. There's no one here, Zana says. Ludmilla, you shout again. Still no answer. Zana shrugs, and you head deeper into the castle, deeper and deeper into the darkness. If Ludmilla's not here, then we should go look for the goblin mercenary. Like, there's no reason for us to, like, be in Ludmilla's castle if the mission is to get the bounty on the goblin mercenary. I guess you're right, Zana says. The goblin mercenary should be in the mine shaft like he is every night. Then that's where we're going, you say. Zana nods, and you head out of the castle. Let's head to the mine shaft and take down the goblin mercenary. Also, Zana's out here already knowing shit about goblins. She knows so much about goblins. That's the spirit, Zana says. Wait here. I'll understand if you're scared. I'll be fine, you say. Zana nods and flies away from you, heading towards the mine shaft. Let's see. I'm gonna follow Zana to the mine shaft. I'm not scared of shit. She's the one who always gets nervous, but I'm glad to see her being so confident. Oh, why the fuck does it... Oh, it's trying to make me a bitch. I've never been a bitch in this. Anyways, let's see. So, you and Zana are at the mine shaft of the goblin mercenary. There we go. You follow Zana to the mine shaft. You're incredibly nervous. You're about to take down your first evil being. You're not even sure whether or not you'll be able to do it, but you know that you have to try. So I'm going to say, this isn't my first rodeo. I've killed Count Grey, his werewolf butler, a tribe of goblins, a lunatic, and Captain Dario. Together, we should be more than a match for a single goblin mercenary. Yeah, like the game's trying to act like I don't have a kill count. I've been keeping track of everybody I've defeated. I hope so, Zana says, because I have a bad feeling about this. Me too, you say. You continue to follow Zana to the mine shaft. You hope she knows where it is, because you don't want to get lost underground. Zana can teleport. I'm not worried about getting lost. Let's see. What if instead of walking into the mine shaft, which is likely filled with traps, we just teleport the goblin mercenary to us? I mean, Zana can teleport, and we've never really tried to use her teleportation on an enemy, but it seems like we could get the drop on him. I've tried that, Zana says. The goblin has some sort of protection. I can't get in. Really, you ask? That's interesting to know. You approach a large opening in the ground. That actually is interesting to know. Okay. What if I use my hydrokinesis to flood the mine shaft? That would drown the goblin mercenary, or at the very least, lure him outside. Like, the mine shaft is sounding more and more like a possible trap. We may go into the mine shaft and not be able to teleport out. You think so? Zana asks. Worth a try, you say. You touch the water and start to move it. It takes some time, but eventually you flood at the mine shaft. Ready, Zana asks? Do it. Okay. So, I'm going to manipulate the floodwaters using hydrokinesis to try and retrieve the goblin mercenary. Well, try and pull the goblin mercenary out of the mine shaft. The floodwaters move the mercenary out of the mine shaft and into the opening. Got him, Zana says. Come on. Zana grabs your hand, and you fly into the mine shaft. Okay, so I'm going to impale the goblin mercenary with my trident. Because I just got this trident like last episode, and I have yet to use it to do shit. You fly down with your trident in hand. The goblin mercenary attempts to block the blow with his sword, but you are faster and stronger. Your trident impales into the goblin's chest. You yank it out and prepare to stab again. Okay. So I'm going to roundhouse kick the goblin mercenary in the back of the head. If we can knock him out, we could potentially claim him alive. Though it might be easier to kill him. Okay. So you and Zana are at the mine shaft of the goblin mercenary. I'm going to now say at the flooded mine shaft of the goblin mercenary. Your mission is to claim the bounty of the goblin mercenary. You and Zana are fighting. Okay. The goblin mercenary in the hopes of claiming his bounty. There we go. That's a good summary. You put all your strength into the kick, knocking the goblin into the floodwaters. You fly after him and stab him with your trident repeatedly. Blood flows in the water, and the goblin's eyes roll into the back of his head before he goes still. We did it. Okay. We should take the goblin mercenary back to the guild hall. I should say, we should take the corpse of the goblin mercenary back to the guild hall so that we can claim his bounty. Also, it's interesting that the succubus eats flowers. It's just right down there, Zana says, pointing to a set of floodwaters flowing out of the mine shaft. You float down after the corpse and soon find yourself outside the mine shaft. Zana soon joins you. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to carry the goblin mercenary's corpse to the guild hall. I'm going to say, you and Zana carry the goblin mercenary. Also, I said mercenaries. There we go. Carry the goblin mercenary's corpse to the guild hall. You float the corpse over your head and begin to head towards the guild hall. You know, Zana says, we could use this body to practice our butchery skills on. That sounds morbid, but also, I did just stab him to death. So in hindsight, your idea isn't really that weird. I would much rather claim his bounty than use him for butchering practice. Oh, I accidentally added a D at the end. Dang it. I fucked up. That's a good attitude to have, Zana smiles. You soon arrive at the guild hall. The man who gave you the job is there to meet you. Ah, splendid, he says. I'm glad you're able to complete the job. Okay. I am glad that you're glad. You owe us 1 gold coin for claiming the bounty of the goblin mercenary. Ah, yes, of course, the man says, handing you a gold coin. I'll certainly keep you in mind for future jobs. Do you happen to have any future jobs available? Zana and I would be more than happy to slay another monster for you. It'd be nice if we could set up what the mission for the next adventure will be. Well, the man says, I'll certainly keep you in mind if I have any more jobs available. Thanks for the coin, you say. You and Zana head back to the inn where you were staying. Soon, you're in your room. Whoa. 1 gold coin let us upgrade from a cave to an inn. What do you think of our new place? Yeah, I mean, this, I imagine, is much nicer than the cave. Let's see. You and Zana. It actually is crazy to see that we're, like, not in a cave anymore. You and Zana are at your room in the inn. You and Zana just finished your first Monster Hunter Guild mission together. It's quaint, Zana says, but I'm not going to complain. Zana sits down on the bed and lies back. She sighs as she lies in comfort for the first time in days. Let's see. Tomorrow, should we go back to the guild hall and check for more bounties? Hold on. Tonight, we sleep. Tomorrow, we can check the guild hall for more monster bounties. Does that sound good to you? It sounds great to me, she says. You join her on the bed, and you fall asleep together. In the morning you awake to find Zana gone from bed. You get up and find that Zana is already at the guild hall. Zana! Okay. Sounds like a plan. So the next episode, episode 4, should follow up from there. Thank you all for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring the notification bell to be notified whenever we do these videos. This is your friend, your boy, Jet Life One Only, logging out. Peace, guys. Chicka da gow.